All right, so this is the retirement home, man.
Right.
How long have you had this at this point?
22 years. It's going to be 22 years in January.
Cool, cool, man. Now, how did you get started on this?
So this was a God-given vision and dream, and just had to keep the faith and be patient and maintain my vigilance.
It's interesting because I had an episode, a podcast on my channel regarding assisted living.
Okay.
What's the benefits of owning a facility like this?
Well, to me, the benefit is, I mean, it's always quiet, and the people love being here,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely, man. And this is one that you own, or you just own the
No, I own it.
structure?
I own it.
You own it.
Yeah.
So it's a whole business within
A
itself.
whole business in itself. Separate LLC, separate company.
So you got the commercial aspect of it, but then you got different businesses in some of these properties as well.
Absolutely.
Right. So you're paying yourself even more cash flow.
I love it.
Absolutely.
That's what
man.
you do.
So how many units is in here?
It's about 48 units.
48
Yeah,
units?
32 one bedroom, 16 two bedrooms.
Built it from the ground up?
Yep.
Awesome, man.
Yep.
And how does the day-to-day operation work?
So I have my manager in this office here. I'm gonna introduce you to, as a matter of fact. And then I got my maintenance man. I see he's around here somewhere. So I really just got a couple people. So this is our lobby area here. We got a little library over here.
Library?
Yeah, a little library where people can come and just sit, get a little quiet time,
Books.
read, relax, get outside the room. Let me show you around.
You see, every successful person has a big library, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's one thing I like to take in information.
Right.
You know what I mean? But again, it's the application of the information.
That's exactly what it is. That's not
Changes
taking
the game.
Absolutely. How you apply it.
I also like to be well diverse in what I read too, man. Different things, not
Right.
just business books.
Right.
Because you want to be that Renaissance man. And the best way to do that is to learn about a little bit of everything. So
Right.
you explore.
Absolutely.
So built this from the ground up.
Right.
What was the vision when you decided to put this together?
So just want to be a place where people could really appreciate the people that came before us, because they lived a different life than us, and they struggled and fought for our rights so that we could vote, live where we wanted to live, and kind of have the freedoms that we have. A lot of us take those freedoms for granted, and we shouldn't do that.
So, what does that look like? Starting your own facility like this. What does it actually look like? How do you get financed?
It's a lot, man.
How's the cash flow work and everything like that?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
This is our community room here. This was a low income housing tax credit deal, but this is our community room where they do choir rehearsal, family reunions, birthday parties, bingo nights. We got movie night. This is a place where they can have Thanksgiving and Christmas parties, which is what they're going to do this weekend, as a matter of fact. Then they have an area outside where they can bring their kids in and just have a good time.
Yeah.
This is our kitchen, a commercial kitchen right here. But the back area, let's look out back here so you can get an idea of what the backyard looks like.
So out of all these properties you got, man, what's your favorite one?
I mean, this is the one I really enjoy the most because it's the most fulfilling. Montague Plaza, love that. It's kind of almost trying to pick between children. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? All of them are my favorite ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this one here is beautiful. People come out here at nighttime and in the afternoons and drink the coffee and tea and come out here to the gazebo. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So little quiet areas away from everything. Yeah.
So you got how many units total?
This building is 48 units.
48. And if you had to add all your properties together, what would you say you got?
I don't know. So I guess 100.
Yeah, 100 or so?
Yeah. But we got a lot more, and I will show you once we go in my office. I'll show you some of the bigger projects we're working on.
Yeah, a lot of times people ask me how many units I have, and I tell them none. Because I don't, especially online, there's always somebody out here trying to see what you got.
That's exactly
try
right.
to get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm going through something like that right now. But a lot of times when people ask me, I tell them I don't own nothing. Or I don't know how many I got.
Right.
Because of that very reason.
That's exactly right.
You know what I mean? So, but a spot like this, the cash flow, does it work the same as if you own in, let's say, a multi-unit apartment building versus this is an actual business. Does the cash flow work the same?
It's about the same.
It's about the same.
Yeah.
Cool. So when a bank is looking at this type of deal, do they underwrite it the same exact way as they would for a regular 48 unit commercial property?
Yes.
They do. It's underwritten.
Right.
So they go by that.
It's not all for you as an individual. It's all for the income because this is like an entity of its own.
Right. I mean, they still look at your credit and stuff like that.
Right.
Because they want to make sure that you're going to be able to make the payments.
Correct.
But they're not looking at your individual income.
Right.
That's where it separates.
They're absolutely.
Looking at the property itself. So they go by the net operating income, what you can profit from every single month, and how many times the rent roll and stuff like that to be able to justify the loan.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. So it took you how long to put this one together?
Took 4 years.
4 years from start to finish to build it?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, because you had to submit for your tax credits. I got turned down the first 2 years, and then so it was 2 years turned down, and then 2 years, about a year and a half in construction. So
okay, a year and a half in construction.
Yeah.
So 4 years. So it was really a process.
There's a process.
You know what I mean? It's not like you're just gonna find a land. And
No.
You got to qualify.
Absolutely.
Did you have to bring in any partners on this one? Or?
I did at first. Initially, I had to bring in a partner on it, but then I ended up buying the partner out after the first, I think 15 years. I paid the partner out and left. They left. Now it's just me.
Now you got a pretty substantial portfolio here in the local area. When you think about the portfolio and you think about, everything that you've been able to accomplish out of this whole thing, what's been the most fulfilling for you?
I mean, just being able to be a positive influence in the community. It ain't really about the projects. It's about being here and having people know that I'm from here and being able to support me and I support them in the process.
Right, man. Now you got the book.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
So the Hood Minted book.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a part of the Hood Minted book. This series, Hood Minted, I wrote that book about 6 months ago. Selling pretty well. And it also tells about how I actually pulled this project as well as the other ones together. So excited about that.
How long did it take for you to put the book together?
That took about 9 months.
Yeah. I remember writing my first book, man. It took me almost a year.
Yeah.
And it was, a good 12, 13 chapters, man.
Yeah.
And I had to rewrite it and revise it.
Yes, sir.
You got to look at all that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, but
yeah,
I got through it.
Yes, sir.
And made it happen.
Yeah.
So Hood Minted, I'm going to be sure to link that in the description box. If you guys saw the farm hacking episode, you'll see that that same link in the description box of the farm hacking episode we did at James's farm as well. But Hood Minted, where did you get the name?
So I got it off of my background, which is I'm from the hood, project kid, and minted meaning now that you have adjusted your mindset, now you are able to get the money to be able to do the things that you can do to benefit your community. So Hood Minted.
Yeah, man. And we spoke about mindset. We spoke about thinking bigger. We spoke about a lot of different things in this episode, man. Why is it important to just think outside of your current circumstances?
Because if you don't think outside your current circumstances, you'll be stuck where you are.
Yeah.
And that you're not really giving God room to operate in your life. Sometimes you gotta think bigger so that you can allow God to move through you to show other people that it's possible to be bigger and think bigger and do bigger things than normally you'd be able to do.
Now, I know you do a lot of partnerships. Is the ultimate goal legacy for the family? Is the ultimate goal, ownership for the family? Like
legacy for the family, but more importantly, passing down a system to the family.
Passing down a system.
Because a lot of people get stuff passed down to them and they don't know what to do with the stuff, end up losing stuff. I don't want to pass them stuff. I want to pass them a system so that they'll be able to maintain it and then grow and thrive and flourish.